Hello, welcome back to More Fun Fixing It. This is another bonus episode, and this one is very, very special because something has come back to the workshop that I sent off on a journey all around the world. The roaming spectrum has returned. Now, if you're not sure what the roaming spectrum is, there's a playlist, and I'll leave a link to that in the description. And this is that playlist, and it started off with me making a video in which I think I recapped the roaming Speccy. It was a long time ago. Well, it wasn't that long ago, but it's been on a journey. I'm not going to click on these now, but it's been on a journey, and I sent it off with Henry, who was on a holiday to the US, and Henry handed it over to a postal service locally, who then sent it on to other people. I can't remember who had it first. I think it was Todd at yet another retro channel, but Retro Tech or Die has done a video. Levi's Digital Voyage did a video as well. Rudy's Retro Intel, and this one is not me. I've hosted this one. This is DIY, who did an amazing video in the Canadian wilderness. 8-Bit Show and Tell did a brilliant video on his channel, and Canadian retro things, 3,227 kilometer road trip with the roaming spectrum. Wow. Another 8-Bit Show and Tell video, and another 8-Bit Show and Tell video. He managed to get 3 out of him. Chris 005 a Gamer and the Retro Channel and Mr. Lurch's Things had a collaboration in Australia. So it went off to America, it went up to Canada, and then it went very, very, very far south to Australia. Did a little tour around Australia. It went to the Perth Amiga Users Group, PORG, and had a little show there. It's appeared in all sorts of weird and wonderful places, and now it's back in the UK. But this isn't the end of its journey. This is just the beginning. Well, it's just the halfway, I suppose. But now we're going to send it off around the UK and Europe. I'm not sure where it's going first. It might go to Europe first. It might go to the UK first. There's literally a line of retro YouTubers clamoring to get their hands on this thing. And if anyone else is interested in hosting this for a trip or a photo opportunity or a video or whatever, just to raise a little bit of publicity, then please get in touch with either myself or Henry. I should point out this is Henry, my friend Henry's, who's one of the moderators over on the Retro Hardware Discord. Henry's just a fantastic friend and a lovely man who came up with this harebrained scheme to send this off around the world on adventures where it could be modified and played with and photographed in all sorts of strange and amazing places. And that is exactly what's happened. But we're going to keep going. The idea is at the end of this, after it's gathered all of its signatures, and you'll see that it is covered in signatures from some of the big luminaries of the retro YouTube world. Once it's been off and done its adventures and comes back for the third time to this location, then we're going to sell it. We're going to put it up for auction and raise a lot of money for the Befriending scheme, which is my favourite charity. So anyway, because it's been off around the world and gathered some battle scars and put some miles on the tyres, it's also gathered some extra accessories and different modifications. And I just want to go through the box now. I have actually gone through this already with Henry at his workshop, and we've opened everything up, but I just want to go through it in a little bit more detail in this video. I've watched all of the videos, but I haven't got a very good memory, so I'm going to get things confused if it's not clearly marked with your name, for instance, your sticker, then I'm probably going to get things muddled up, and I do apologise, although I do know who these are from. So I'll do my best, but if you want to know exactly where everything's come from, watch all of the videos in the playlist, because everything will be explained much more clearly by the people that actually did the work and gifted the items. So I'm just going to go through this in no particular order. I know that the spectrum looks like it's down near the bottom, so we'll get to that in a little bit. Right, so from Matt Desmond, who is factorofmatt.com, who's famous for making my Des Test switch He's done some other stuff as well, but this is all I'm really interested in. This is my desk test switch, which is a prototype version, and this is one of the actual release candidate ones. I have plugged this in. I promise I've used it, Matt. But Matt Desmond has sent some stuff, and this might be. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, I think he sent some more than this actually, but what we've got here is a Speccy ROM plus diagnostics, and you've got some selector switches up here and some jumpers to select different things. But this is quite cool because you've got the +5, 9 volts, plus 12 and -5 volts, all that are all available on the edge connector. And this is obviously something that Matt's just come up with himself, because that's the kind of thing he does. I wonder if that's to select the pins on the amount of pins on the ROM, and you can use a smaller ROM. But that's cool. So you've got a diagnostic ROM there, but it's obviously still, it's got some other stuff on it as well. I'm assuming games and things, but there's also in here a couple more ROMs. Roaming Spectry 4 ROM diags. Oh, nice. And Roaming Speccy 16 ROM games. So yeah, this one is slightly smaller than the one on there. So this is the, you would select the 28 pins, so it's got 4 pins less on this one if you were using that ROM. He's a clever man. He's a very, very clever man. I'm in awe of people that can just come up with these amazing things. Let's put these back in their bag. Fortunately, I've already got a Matt Desmond sticker. Otherwise, I would have been stealing this one. Here we've got I think this is a Dandinator. Yes, this is a Dandinator Mini. So this is the original Dandinator version. My one's the AMIE version, or the AMI version. And this one's got the SD card built into it. But the original version just had the ROM built into it, which held a number of games and things. And how does this open? Oh, right, it's got a screw there. I'm not going to pull it apart. I don't know. How is that put together? Where's the screws in the top? There's obviously screws here, the other side of screws. Well, but yeah, this is, I'm pretty sure that Todd from Yet Another Retro channel built this. It was one of the first things that was built for it. And it's got an edge connector pass-through there. So you can, you know, add some RAM if you're running a 16K Spectrum. But yeah, you can just use this. It's got a couple of buttons on the top here. You can use this to play the games on the ROM or the software that's on the ROM inside. There is, on the original Dandinator, this version, there's an add-on where you can add an SD card. So he's included an SD card so that somebody could do that in the future, and maybe add the rest of the Dandinator to turn it into this one. Here's a an international spec, so it's got 100 or 240 volt 9 volt power adapter that somebody has modified so that it's the right polarity. But that's, you know, if somebody, you know, this is going to be an international auction, so it could be won by someone in the US. That will be very handy. I'm not sure. I think it was, it might have been Mark and Lurch, Mr. Lurch, that gave that one. These are also from Australia. These are obviously NES gamepads, which wouldn't be compatible with a ZX Spectrum. And these have been modified so that they are. I think that's what they are. Look, it's me thyroid. That's the man who's from the amazing Australia has supplied those. Thank you very much. A speaker for it's another thing from Matt Desmond for Mozart Lives. Is this just the speaker? That is just the speaker. Okay, we'll put that to one side for a second. Right, so this is a bundle of stuff. I think this might all be from Matt Desmond. This is the Mozart Lives bit here. That is a Retro Tech or Die pen with a spirit level and a ruler on it. Very nice. How handy is that? We've got some spare parts here that have been removed from the Speccy along its journey. So the 7805 and the power socket, which was found to be a bit flaky. I'm sure that'll get filled up. Some more Matt Desmond stickers. Ooh, I won't steal any. I think these were taken off of the box originally, and the box has been upgraded as it's gone along. Some feet that I think Matt has supplied. There has some Retro Tech or Die put some feet on, but they're quite tall, so we might change those. These are the proper size feet. My marker pens have come back. I only originally sent off the white one, or intended to send off the white one, and I accidentally handed over all of my marker pens, so they've been on a journey. Here's the Mozart Lives AY soundboard for the ZX Spectrum. I think it's for the Spectrum. But it basically adds the same capability, or some of the same capability, as the later Sinclair ZX Spectrum Plus 2s that had the AY sound chip built in. Original design by Rod Hopkins, Your Computer, March 1983, and then recreated by Matt Desmond of factorofmatt.com. There's a variable resistor there to change the volume. Speaker goes, that's that speaker here. Connects to there, but it's also got auxiliary. Yeah, that's really cool. Install socket from other side. I think Matt sent me this board previously in another life. Very interesting things for somebody to play with included in this. That's a Bluetooth module. It's sealed, so I'm not going to open it. A Bluetooth audio module, so you can connect this up internally inside the Spectrum. Somebody along the line. A BT 5.0 audio Bluetooth module. So you can connect it up to the internal audio inputs on the Spectrum, and then connect your phone up via Bluetooth, and then just squirt the tape audio directly in. There's the original bad keyboard membrane. That's been replaced. There's a ZX Spectrum Plus key ring there on another bit of the membrane. The original heatsink, so the voltage regulator has been changed for a Traco or similar. And I've got another board here. This looks like another Matt Desmond Speccy Breakout Extend. Oh, interesting. So, right, so you've got all of the edge connector bits here that you could connect up to maybe a logic analyzer or similar. Got a reset button there, a reset signal there, and a power signal there. And you've got some points to I wonder if that one's reset, but this, you've got a ground point here, so you could probe around on the edge of a ZX Spectrum with that. That would actually be handy for me, but obviously it's not for me. Mind you, I don't really need it. I've got my Steam Card Pro, which does the same thing, but yeah, very good. And we've got some more bits of keyboard membrane here. Another Retro Tech or Die. These are the feet that Retro Tech or Die put onto the Spectrum, and they are just a bit too tall. Doesn't feel very natural typing on a Spectrum if it's too high up off the desk. Right, so I'm just going to slot all of these back in here, and then we'll get some more stuff out. Not my pens. I'm keeping my pens. They were never yours, Speccy. What? Well, we don't need that. That will go in. Got some games. ATF, got Transformers, The Transformers by Ocean, and Super Stuntman from Codemasters. And we've also got Jet Set Willy Oz Edition. So I think this is it's me thyroid again, who's put this together. And Jet Set Willy Oz Edition by Ken Knight, and It's Me Thyroid. Above but better. And so yeah, they've marked whereabouts on the tape these things are, and Rampage as well. So there's an editor for Jet Set Willy. There you can change all sorts of different attributes in the game, and they've made one. The Oz Edition is, well, you'll have to watch the video. Haven't watched the videos. I'm not going to spoil. what the Oz edition is. That's a good reason for you to go and watch the video. There's this thing, which says Triad on the side. It looks like a power supply with, this is what Mark, Retro Channel Mark and Jason from Mr. Lurch's Things supplied. It's a truly universal power adapter for anywhere in the world. So it's got all of the bits on that you could need wherever you plugged it into the world, including our amazing UK plug. I'm never going to get this back in the box now, am I? Or am I? There's some more of my pens. I'll be sending the white one on with it, or the silver one, or whatever it is. Both of those. Oh, lovely. Hi from all at Porg Meet 12. And they've signed it all. October 18th, 2025, Perth. Look at all those happy faces. Oh, that's amazing. Why would you sign it on someone's face? Surely you could have done it a little bit lower. It's Me Thyroid is signed here. Played Snake Escape. 80s Brits equivalent to that Nokia game. Oh, Snake Escape. 80s Brit equivalent to that Nokia game. That's lovely. What a lovely thing to go with it. This is the original letter the story that we sent with the travelling Spectrum for everybody to read on their own parts of the journey. And yeah, so you can read that if you want to freeze frame it. Roaming Speccy 60. Oh, this is Matt Desmond's thing, I think. These are the Speccy ROM plus diag features. So these are the 4 ROM diag. So we've got 48K Spectrum, ZX Spectrum Basic System, Test ROM cartridge, Dr. Ian Logan, Retrolium version 1.71, and Smith and Alford 0.37. And then the games are Stonkers, Stop the Express, Survival, Tetris, The Sentinel, The Snowman, Timegate, TLL, that's Tornado Low Level, Transylvanian Tower, Trashman, Vector Ball, Winged Warlords, Worst Things Happen at Sea, Xeno, Zolix, and Zoom. I've only heard of a couple of those. Some kind of Spectrum enthusiast I am. Roman Speccy 64 ROM games. So one of those had 64 on it. So we've got a lot more on here. We've got a few more familiar ones like Arkanoid 2, Antattack, 3D Tanks, that's a classic, Jet Set Willy, Mooncrester, yeah, and many, many others. And the last bit of the package is the roaming Spectrum itself. He's not a bear and he doesn't like marmalade. 9-volt DC negative tip, very good. Someone's put a sticker on there just to make sure. And all of these amazing signatures. There's lots of signatures inside and these terrible feet that are definitely going to have to come off. But we're probably going to upgrade the case a little bit because the faceplate is a little bit worse for the wear. But we'll wait until it comes back. Okay, I've hooked it up. I'm going to try a couple of the things that we got with it, and then we're going to have a look inside to see the quality of the work that's been done. I'm sure it's all fine. Okay, so the Dandinator from, is it from Todd? One of the first videos. It's been a while. Looks like it's working very, very nicely, and it's got some really good games on there. What have we got? Oh, Attic Attack, Jucky Egg, and Manic Miner, Outrun. Outrun. I don't even know. Oh, Wheel Spin. Oh, it's horrendous. How bad is that? Well, it's no checkered flag. Let me say that. It's nothing happening. It's like a Sunday drive. What's going on? Am I supposed to change up or something? I'm just in awe. Okay, so that's the Dandinator. I could plug a joystick into this side of it quite easily, but I won't. Put that away. want to try this. The Matt Desmond Speccy ROM plus Diag. It hasn't got... right, that needs sorting, actually. This might be something that someone might want to do. It's missing... So in the back of the Spectrum is a key slot right there. And if you look in, for instance, Dandinator, there's a piece of metal that I've drilled and put through there. A piece of copper, actually. I can't remember where I got that from. It might come with this slot, thinking about it, just to stop that wandering around, because it's very easy to short out these edge connectors. There is a lot of slot there, and you can just bridge connections very easily. So, well, that will just go on anywhere. There's components on the right hand side that are probably stopping it, but yeah, I can put it on the left or the right. So that definitely needs sorting. I'll probably do that. Another thing you can do is cut off a piece of PCB, so it's the right thickness to go in that slot, and maybe just shave it down a little bit, and then drill. You don't need to drill a hole through. Then you can just put the PCB in there and glue it in place. I'll probably do that with a bit of UV resin. UV resin everything. Yeah, so I'm not going to risk plugging that in yet. Oh, Matt, you left me a booby trap. Right, so I'll leave that to one side. Let's have a look inside. I did notice one thing. Let me just fire this up again. Is that the picture quality is not good. So if I move this connector around, look at that. It's really bad. And that is just purely the quality of these RCA jacks. So that's something else that can be sorted. I don't want to do all of the work. Let someone else have some fun. So let's have a look at the signatures on the back. We've got Usagi Electric, Mark from the Retro Channel, Canadian Retro Things, Adrian's Digital Basement. I don't know who that is, never heard of him. Robin from 8-Bit Show and Tell, Rudy's Retro Intel, Factor of Matt, Chris W from 005 at Gema, and Mr. Lurch, all on the outside here. And on the inside, we've got Todd from Yet Another Retro Channel, Mike from Retro Tech or Die, DIY, Levi from Levi's Digital Voyage, some idiot here, Henry, Neil from The Cave, and Yawning Angel, Keith, Mark Fixes Stuff, Andy from Hack Build Restore, Naoki, and who's that? That's Mike Daly of Lemmings fame, Dan from The Cave, Holly, and I think that's Jason from The Cave, and is that Richard from Heber? I can't read that signature, but I'm sure Richard signed it, and that's the only one missing. Or maybe that's Richard, and I'm not sure who that is. No, sign your signature more clearly, please. Here it is. So I recapped it, and that's all the work I think I did on it. Somebody else has put in a Traco. It's got the original ZTX 313 transistors in TR1 and TR2 here, so that needs to be changed. It has had a composite mod done here with a capacitor, but that needs to change to brighten up the display. It also has this horrible SN94459N video encoding chip here. That needs to be changed. It's just not as good as the LM1889N that you normally find in ZX Spectrum. So yeah, we'll change that as well. I'm not going to do any work to it on this time through. I'll wait for it to come back, and then once it's back here, if there's anything left to do, like changing this. Actually, we're still looking to see if Julian Brown can make a video upgrade to this. Maybe that it might give it RGB, or maybe someone will give it S-Video or something like that. But there's a lot to be done, and who knows, it might even turn into another machine as well. It's just completely unmolested. Very good. Very nice. The work that's been done is exemplary. No problem at all. The roaming Speccy. Yeah, this is a nice Spectrum to own. A -7 ULA, an issue 6A with the, well, in this case, it's the PCF1306P unified logic. Yeah, a good machine to have. So that, yeah, that connector needs cleaning up. Again, I'm not going to do any work to it. I don't want to deprive anybody else of the fun of doing this stuff. I will just put it back together, send it on its merry way. Great, so now it's all spread out over my desk. I'm going to put it all away, put it back in its box. I'll probably give it to Henry. I'm going to see Henry this weekend at the Cambridge Computer Club meetup, and I'll give it to Henry, and then he can decide where it's going next. But I look forward to the next time it comes back, because at that point, that's where we're going to actually sell it and see what it will raise and how much good it will do. It'll be amazing. So if you are interested in hosting the roaming Speccy, then please get in touch. You can either email me or you can join the Retro Hardware Discord and talk to Henry directly. And you don't have to be a YouTuber, just an enthusiast, somebody that wants to do something good. And as long as you don't break it, we don't mind what you do to it. You can do what you like. You can donate what you want. You can add to it. Some things will be shipped directly to Henry rather than onto the next person. But the only thing that we ask is that you are prepared to ship it onto the next person in a reasonable amount of time. We're not asking you to turn it over in 24 hours, but don't hold on to it for 6 months either. If you're interested, then let us know. And if you'd like to get involved, if you'd like to make a donation to the Befriending scheme, I'll leave a link in the description, and that would be just a lovely thing to do. By the way, the donkeys have arrived. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed part 2 of this. I'll see you in the next one. Wanted to hum the Paddington Bear theme then, and I can't even think of what it was. That's something else.